Come in three-piece suits and nice dresses, t-shirts and flip-flops. The Texas Republican Party on exhibit in Dallas is a cornucopia of age, style, hairdos, and relative commitment to the sartorial wonders of red, white, and blue. But they have one thing in common. Nobody was happy about President Obama's transgender bathroom decree for the nation's public schools.
It's a safety issue at the very core.
Tad Green owns his own real estate company in Fort Worth. He's married with 3 daughters. For Green, accommodating a small number of transgender children is an invitation to trouble, simple as that. He's got no problem providing for the disabled, but for Green, this is going too far.
This is a choice, and it's ridiculous, in my opinion, to put the other 99.9% at risk, and even put that little 0.1% at risk, all to accommodate something that shouldn't be an issue, in my opinion, at all.
If safety worries are the overriding concern, there's also widespread anger at the president acting unilaterally again, like Jennifer Stein, an attorney from Houston.
I think first and foremost that our president has again demonstrated he wants to be an authoritarian person. He wants to control everything and issue edicts from the federal government, which is not appropriate, and it's not how our government was founded.
For Stein and other Republicans here, it's not that they have no sympathy for transgendered students, but
while I appreciate the fact that kids that are struggling with their identity certainly are going to have a lifelong struggle, unfortunately, if that's something that they feel. But I don't think that we should hold hostage every other child, which is certainly the huge majority, and put them in an uncomfortable position and make them feel uncomfortable going to the bathroom every time.
Has already exposed profound political divisions here in North Texas after the Fort Worth school superintendent, Kent Scribner, announced their public schools would accommodate their transgender students. That brought an angry attack from Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, who called Scribner a dictator and demanded he resign or be removed. The superintendent and several other Fort Worth officials instructed the lieutenant governor to butt out of Fort Worth's business. Although all of the Republicans we spoke with at the Texas convention decried President Obama's actions, they also universally applauded the Texas lieutenant governor interceding against the Fort Worth superintendent. Which politician you believe should take a hike seems to depend on one's political perspective. Here's Houston lawyer Patricia Stein again.
It's 100% in press trying to stimulate their base, exactly how Obama converted from being not pro-gay marriage to pro-gay marriage when he needed more votes. It's very obvious.
Judging by the Texas Republicans attending their convention in Dallas, the Democrats aren't the only base that's being stimulated. Wade Goodwin, NPR News, Dallas.
Dating is plenty complicated. The story's romance came with deadline.
Okay, so, yes, the president today, Friday the 13th, sent out word that the education system in the United States would adhere to an open policy for gender identification. If you think you're female, you use the female bathroom. If you think you're male, you use the male bathroom. Now, most studies show that 0.5% of the population have some sort of gender identity issue, aphasia, whatever the current wording is. So that's 1 out of 200 people. So in a school with 1,000 kids, possibly 5 kids have an issue with gender identification. So, of course, the solution is to not maybe make accommodations for those 5 kids by having maybe a restroom that's a unisex restroom, one at a time type thing. No, the answer is to make all other 995 students have to adhere to them. Now, I know immediately people go, oh, you use the same thing for blacks, whites, or Asians, Latinos. No, this is gender identification. This means that you think you feel like a woman on the inside, or you think you feel like a man on the inside, but that you have a different gender that you were born with. How do I know what a man feels like? I know what I feel like. I don't know that that's what the next guy sitting next to me feels like. I mean, we could talk and we could say, yeah, that's the same type of thing that I'm feeling. But there's probably men that are happy to be men that are maybe feminine, and women that are happy to be women that may or may not be gay in either situation. But they're just a more masculine woman. They're a tomboy in cases of women. I think that the whole thing about transgendered, the reason why it's popped up its head almost immediately, Obama in 2008 was against gay marriage. And he evolved. And suddenly court rulings started falling one after the other. And suddenly he was for gay marriage by 2012. And then the next step, then all of a sudden transgendered. Never even had much of a discussion. Understand the term trainee, and which transgendered people get upset with. Even RuPaul, who's been a big advocate for rights, is shunned by some of the community because they're not progressive enough. But my point is that I think Obama and other leading liberal Democrats are just trolling the hell out of everyone. It's just one big F you to anything that you've ever believed, and we're going to take every hot button issue and we're going to make it the law of the land, and you're going to have to fight it to try and make it not the law of the land. This is not even a matter of someone who's had gender reassignment. This isn't even that. This is just, I feel like a woman on the inside. Bruce Jenner, aka Caitlyn Jenner, hasn't had the sex reassignment. Still has all the parts. Hasn't dated men. Doesn't know if she is going to date men. I think, like I said, it's just one big troll. And if they get something out of it, great. If not, then they're just having fun, laughing at the right as their heads are popping. Because as they show in that NPR program, they went after, Texas, older Texans who might be more willing to use terminology that seems very homophobic and racially motivated. And I guess that's what I got to say about that. Political drive.